Hello everybody, it is Saturday the 29th of April and I want to talk about whether we should be in sin so that grace may abound. And really the pouring out of the Spirit, whatever is happening in this world at the moment. And I said to my friend, it has got a spiritual dimension to it. And we really must understand what that is. What is happening around us. And I was again thinking about what happened to John St. Julian and many others that had spiritual experiences, that had a moment of enlightenment. And really thinking about the level of knowledge that they were given. Because, and go through them, there's so many of them that have hit rock bottom in this world, in their life, whenever that moment occurred. Yeah, whether that be through drugs or anything, depression, one way or another they hit rock bottom. And then they were shown grace. There's no doubt in my mind, they were shown grace. They were given a knowledge of the love of God, that would revive them, that would give them hope, and that would lead them into a future. But really, it is as below, so above. If you ever hit absolute rock bottom here, the knowledge you receive of God is the lowest possible knowledge you can have. So there's one dual, there is one light, and everything is love. It's the lowest possible knowledge you can have. As I said in my videos before, you do not know what is contained inside of that light, inside of that love, the parts that it's made out of, how they interact with each other, how they create outcomes. So to see it as just one light and as one feeling of love is the lowest possible knowledge you can have. And of course they're now going around saying it's all. And then they must, honest to God, think that if sin abounds, and you have hit rock bottom, you've missed the mark completely and you now have hit rock bottom, that you would be given all. And I don't think that happens. You were given, yes. And I believe it has saved you, yes. But as below, so above. Now, there is something coming. There is something coming. We're going to be energized in some way. And I think it will lead to an evolution. Yeah? But everything will receive according to what they are. And here is the thing, if they are driving us into tribulation, into desolation, so we all end up, rock bottom, then we all will receive the lowest possible knowledge that we can get. And that is the way they will take us through this and keeping us in darkness. And I've heard it said, somebody said, and I don't know where I heard it, but that one of the, what we call the elites, bad word for it, but they, one of them said that, everybody will receive, but the plebs will receive very little. And that is because of that. You're at rock bottom, you will receive. Because you cannot actually take in any more than that at that time. They'll not give you more than you can handle. And if you're not in a state to take it in, then you're not going to be given. I mean, even those that were at rock bottom and were given the minimum of what they could receive, they have problems even handling that. So, and I mean, it says in the book, there's going to be a pouring out, and it will rain on the just and the unjust. There's no judgment in the Father. He'll give. He's the giver. So now, so what's happening? What are these, the occultists? What are they actually doing? And if you go looking at the way of alchemy, there's a knowledge that will turn lead into gold. And folks, that is not talking about physical lead being made into physical gold. That is talking about the person. The person that was lead will be turned into gold. And then you really would need to think, whoever built that teaching that would lead a person to a certain point, what did they think, a person of gold would be? The perfect human being. I mean, it is according to what they thought the highest human being would be. So they have teachings that create the thinking. And here's the thing, does the thinking itself create the person? Does that cause the evolution in itself? So, I mean, or does there have to be an outside event that gives into that thinking to then create the evolution? And I'm beginning to think that is it. You are making it, and there's the bride making herself ready. You create yourself in a thinking, and then that thinking is being given to. And it's the spiritual that creates the outcome. So you make yourself spiritually into something, and that is being given to, and then it will create an evolution. So, I mean, I'm kind of really hoping then, because the wages of sin is death, if they have some sort of thinking that makes themselves into a being that is no longer compatible with this world, that those idiots are going to get raptured out of here, Don't know where they're going, but hell, you asked for it. So, go. What should we ask for? What is it we want to know? What is it we're even asking for? If there is a pouring out, what is it we're asking for? What do we want to make a reality inside of ourselves? Become that. Because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And to me, and I will make a video about that tomorrow, it is really still the knowledge of good and bad. Yeah, it should have happened in the garden, the awakening to the knowledge of it. But I mean, hell, look at this world, we still haven't got a hold on it, have we? Nowhere near. We are on shifting sand. Good as this, bad as that, and it changes all the time. So, even to get a hold on that, to become a being that actually knows good and bad, that alone would be an evolutionary step for us that I think is absolutely necessary, because that knowledge is the foundation of everything else. It is the absolute foundation from which you can grow. And again, I think they don't have that foundation. They are on the way of no knowledge of good and bad. It's just all possibilities, and just because you can, you should. So if we're just at least making ourselves ready and thinking about good and bad, so that when whatever happens, it will create us into a being in which that knowledge is rock solid. that alone would be an evolutionary step that I think would serve us. But I'll talk about that more tomorrow. But just, he will not give you more than you can handle. And those non-dual idiots, and I said a lot of them, listen to them. I mean, you look at Johnson, Julian, Edgar Tolle, and many others. Edgar Tolle. They had hit rock bottom. There's many others. And then they were given. And now they think what they have is all. But it was as below, so above. If you're at the lowest state, you will only be, you are given by grace. Yes. To save you. Yes. But you're only being given the bare minimum of spiritual knowledge. And as I said, what they're doing at the moment, when they think themselves, their teachings will take them to a higher evolved state when this event happens. They're driving us into desolation so that we will receive, but only the bare minimum that will keep us alive. Because we have become that cannot receive anymore. And we should make ourselves ready. Yeah? And it also says in the book, to those that have, I shall give. And to those that have not, I shall take away even that which they have. So, we need to become something in order to receive. Anyway, I leave it at that for today. So no, do not go into sin that grace will abound. Because the more you're in sin, you will receive, but the less you will receive. Anyway, I leave it at that for today. And I probably will talk to you about tomorrow, because I really think we need to go deeper into dissect this idea of good and bad, to have a greater knowledge of it into which we can receive. Anyway, I leave it at that. Talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.